very big apprehension, a fear. I had issues with, going public and speaking in public. That was the biggest hitch I ever had. And PhD is all about speaking, about your research work, about your papers and stuff. I didn't know how to go about it, or possibly how I would combat this kind of a situation when actually the situation comes in front of me, or when I encounter this kind of situation. I was totally appalled. I didn't know what to do, but then I just felt, let me just go with the flow. Whatever happens, it happens. Then a thought just crossed my mind. I was in a situation where there was a cliff, and I had to jump off the cliff. And there could only be two possible repercussions. Either I die, or second, either I stay alive. So either ways, I know it is a risk, but still, it is worth the risk. So I jumped onto the course, and I waited to see what all things unravel. The first presentation day came, when I had to present my first paper as a part of the PhD program. And to my surprise, you would not believe me, it was not even a national conference, it was an international conference. I was put onto an international conference. I was asked to write a paper, to present a paper. And when I reached the conference, which was in Bangkok, Thailand, I was appalled because I realized that the comparer who was supposed to compare the show was possibly missing, or possibly could not make it to the venue. And the comparing was put onto my shoulders. I had to take care of comparing as well as present my papers, which was a huge challenge for me. As it is, I have a very jittery fear within me, and this escalates further my nervousness. I stood like one person with mouth wide open. And when I recall those moments now, I really find them funny. I just somehow started with the presentation. First 10 minutes, I really didn't know what I went through. My entire feet was ice cold for 10 minutes, and there was so much of nervousness in my system. I had goosebumps everywhere. I just had this feeling, let this get over as quickly as possible, and then my mind would be relaxed. When I started, I felt very heavy from within. At the same time, I also realized the fact that I need to be consistent with my performance. My performance cannot dip, because that reflects their tutelage, their teaching as far as academics is concerned. And I in no way can put them down. I was not just representing them, but also my college. So it was a big responsibility that I had shouldered. And I had to do my best. I had to give my best. And as they say, first impression is the last impression. And in front of so many spectators, it was an important job to be done. With a blink of an eye, the comparing finished. My presentation got over without me realizing that the event was over. I realized it only when teachers were approaching me. Professorates were sweet enough to approach me and to express their appreciation as far as my comparing was concerned. And it was only then that I realized that yes, this is something that is not impossible to surmount. It was just my fear. My fear was bigger than my efforts to try. And that is what was stopping me from doing what I wanted to do. And so was the case with PhD. See, many of your decisions, if you analyze, they are more based on fear compared to your actual efforts. If you remove fear and you just put in effort, 100% of your decisions would be positive and in the successful way, because it is only and only hard work that pays. Decisions are up to you, whether you want to take up that line or not. But not taking that line because you find it difficult should not be the reason. If it is more difficult and more challenging, it gives you a good enough reason to take that line more. So this was the first lesson learned and the first hitch of my journey that I successfully overcame. The second most important asset, I would say, that helped me stay buoyant in this line was my GRE, TOEFL and IELTS training. Since I mentioned in my part 1 of the video that I had applied abroad for higher studies, so of course I had to give these essential international competitive exams to be able to apply to these courses. I had exposure, in fact immense exposure to high vocabulary words. These terms are not very frequently used while talking. So I happened to have that strong hold on me, and that made it very easy for me to draft my research papers beautifully. Research, in my opinion, is an art. You can be as creative as possible. One must definitely, if they intend pursuing higher education, should delve into research and try that line out for a change. It will change your life, it will change you as a person, intensify your knowledge, and it will give you that boost as far as your confidence is concerned. My confidence was this low. I was a very shy, a timid person. You'll not believe the kind of confidence I have now. It was not there some 10 years back. This confidence that I have today, it is only because of my beautiful PhD journey. I thank that journey. I thank God for having given me that opportunity to tread upon that journey, and I thank my lovely teachers who have been a bolster throughout my life, not just in my doctoral journey, but even today they are there to help me in whatever endeavor I plan to pursue in my life. So with this, I end part 2 of my PhD series of reflections on my journey. I would bring about many more episodes of different experiences and share it with you, so that we all can get a taste of PhD and the line as to how it is. Don't be scared, don't be afraid of taking anything up. You are as bold and you are a warrior. Fight it out and confront it. Don't withdraw yourself. Take care of yourself and stay safe. This is Dr. D signing off.